Welcome to Hero's Journey Physio Fitness. Our mission is to empower, inspire, and mentor people to reclaim their health and become self-reliant in their fitness. I'm your host, Dr. Cameron Hogue. Join with me as my co-host, Anibal Rios.
Okay, Doc, we're going live in 3, 2, 1.
How's it going, Anibal? How you doing?
Not too bad. How you doing, Doc?
I'm tired this week. I'm not going to lie to you.
A little tired?
A little tired. We actually did something out of the ordinary. We're recording before we work out.
I think that's kind of what's throwing me off.
It's like, I don't know why my eye's been twitching, but I feel like that's why.
Like, I don't even know how to hold the mic. What do I even say?
I know. So, a little off today, but speaking of being a little off, I don't really know how I was going to transition that.
All right, so we're taking a little break for this week only.
For misconceptions.
For misconceptions.
And we're actually going to recap our 100 push-up challenge. But before we do that, follow us on social media. Give us some love, people. Give us some follows, comment, DM. Feed the algorithm, as Anibal said in the past. We need
Feed
the
it.
we need
It's
the
hungry.
love. We'll give the love back. So with this whole 100 push-up challenge thing, I thought it'd be cool if we just kind of shared some of our thoughts from the past.
Maybe like before going into it, like
Before.
what we thought about it, and then
let's.
during, and then post. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Annabelle, before we even started the 100 push-up challenge, what were your thoughts about it?
I've never done 100 push-ups for 30 days.
Well, I mean, I have not either.
The last time I was able to consistently do push-ups was like in high school. I think we talked about that briefly. So
Yeah.
Oof, even now, my numbers are going up, but I was like, push-ups?
Never heard of her.
Push-who?
Yeah, no.
Listen, I'm not trying to get canceled over here.
I know. I actually just before we did, I was just thinking about those, clickbait YouTube videos that are like, I did 100 push-ups for 30 days. Here's what happened.
And I got jacked out of my mind.
And it's like some before and after picture with better lighting and a pump, and it's like, oh my gosh, if I do these push-ups, I'm gonna look so good. So that's actually what I thought of when we first started
I was
doing
like,
this.
I thought, okay, it's gonna be challenging. I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
Going into it, at least.
But now we've done it.
Now we've done it.
So we should definitely share our thoughts on looking at it from the end point, but also what
like in the mid
and what we're doing in the middle, and
yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
Of course.
So we're going to talk about lessons learned and specifically what we learned about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think with anything in life, if you're not applying it to yourself, if you're not learning something new about yourself, then how are you going to grow? You can't.
I think with any challenge or any difficulty, it's not always about what you're doing.
That's like part of it.
It's part. I would say, it's part of it, but it's who's in there when you're going through that challenge.
Mm-hmm.
You're discovering yourself in a way, new layers.
And if you think back to, I want to say it was episode 3 or 4, we talked about the hero's mindset, and the very first one is to know thyself. And I think we had said stuff about like if you want to change or even to have change be possible, we need to understand who we are. Because if you don't understand where you're weak at, where your strengths are, how in the world are you going to overcome them? You're turning a blind eye to
Or sometimes you may not know.
Yeah.
But doing challenges like this,
challenges is what brings it out. But
my gosh!
But if you still don't self-reflect, then you're not going to learn anything.
You're right.
So what was something that you kind of had learned about yourself from this challenge, Anibal?
That push-ups are, first of all, they were hard the first week for me.
Okay.
And I would say I was really excited the first week.
Oh,
this is awesome. This is incredible.
We posted that first video the first day and do this challenge with us.
Yeah. I'm going to do it every single day, and it's going to be easy and fun.
Yeah.
And no, I would say the hardest week were probably 2 and 3.
The weeks 2 and week 3?
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to do it.
So you're saying maybe that first week you were more eager?
Eager, excited, the newness of it. I think what I learned about myself that I know I do this whenever I commit to anything that I do.
Mm-hmm.
but the first week I am 100%, and then it fades for me. It does. It slowly just like.
I think that was the same way for me too, though, because, and probably for a lot of our listeners and just people in general, like you get gung ho on something and you go strong, like 150%. You know, you're going, overboard over on it, and then you hit that week 2 and you're like, this kind of sucks. I don't want to do this
why
anymore.
am I doing this again?
I found myself getting, I still did them, but I found myself getting lazier. After the newness wore off that we were doing this challenge and we were posting it on, the podcast, I found myself being more lazy.
Yep.
During that, definitely the second week, I was like, this kind of stinks. Like, I'm tired today.
Like, push day and I have push-ups.
We just did 100 repetitions on bench press. I don't want to do 100 push-ups.
Yeah.
That was kind of like week 2. And you said something about week 3. Was that also?
I would say week 3. That's where Father Hogue.
Uh-oh. Yes, child.
I did miss a week. And I can blame it on traveling for work.
You missed a week?
I missed a day, not a week.
Okay. I was like, oh, my gosh, Anibal. So you missed one day.
I missed one day, yeah. And because a lot of people are like, oh, I did it for 30 days straight. Like, no, I want to be honest. Yeah, I did miss a day. But overall, it does get hard. It was harder because I had more stuff going on that week. And then there would be nights where you're like, oh, shoot, push-ups.
Yeah.
But I'm tired. Fine, I'll do them. So I think it was like mentally challenging, but also in a good way to be able to persevere through that.
Yeah. I don't know if this is like the, not placebo, but like already knowing that it takes 21 to 24 days or something to form a habit. I feel like for myself during that week 3, I was kind of going more on autopilot.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't as lazy anymore about it or not wanting to do it. I was just like, oh, I haven't done them. And I just found myself on the floor just doing push-ups.
Yeah. For me, that was week 4. What's today? 29. We're recording on the 29th. We have a few more days, but.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler!
We're posers.
But so far, this last week, man, it's been exciting. I'm knocking them out honestly was ease compared to the first week.
I was actually looking forward to them. I'm like, I'm ready just to drop down and get these done. Like, I almost started thinking, and I actually told a few people at work, like, I think I want to continue doing this. Like,
I think
after
so
these 30
too.
days.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. We do want to say that the one day Animal missed, we did a park workout with some friends, and we did Murph, and that's 200 push-ups. So
I did 200 push-ups.
He made up for the day that he missed. Don't worry.
Even that.
Repentance was given.
Thank you, Father Hogue. I did too.
We gotta stop saying that. Oh, man.
But even that, I think that was a lesson learned. Like, wow, I didn't think I could ever do 200 real push-ups. Normally I did like adjusted, incline.
Right.
Because I think last year when we did the Murph, I did it on a bench or something. It was.
Yeah, I think you did do it on an incline.
And an incline, but it was actually 200 normal push-ups. I was like, wow, that's.
Yeah, you smoked them, man.
I thought
they were good push-ups too. I was watching.
I thought that was gonna be the hardest part, but it ended up being the squats.
Oh, the squats. We actually got squats after this.
Yeah,
so.
we don't talk about leg day, but
yeah.
What about you? What did you learn?
So I actually was taking this kind of just the narrative we just said about the weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I want to try to actually apply that to when I start new things in the future, like regardless if it's like a physical challenge, work, whatever, knowing that I'll probably be pretty excited the first week. I'll probably start to want to fall off the bandwagon the second week, but if I can get to that third week and it starts to become a routine, potentially by the end of the month, I'll actually start enjoying it. So I'm going to try to use that, and apply it to other things that might be going on in my life, not just physical challenges. So
here's a question.
I'm ready.
That there may not be a clear answer to.
Yeah.
I have my thoughts. Was week 4 easier because we knew it was ending? How many times was like certain things, You
see the finish line?
You see the finish line, you're like, okay, I can power through because I know it's right there. But with other sayings, if you can't see the finish line and you don't know how much is left, mentally, which So what we're gonna get into some of the mindsets that we've learned
Yeah.
is, oof, man,
Yeah.
I have
Well, I mean, that's definitely harder not being able to see an end point for
Yeah.
sure. I don't know if it got easier because of that at the end. Because I did feel like, and I will continue on with them, and I'm hoping
Yeah.
I can keep it in this routine.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was just getting exciting because they were getting easier, and I'm like, well, I mean, we'll talk about too about this, the constant pump that you feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not nearly as big as Schwarzenegger, but I just felt like I was just flexing like Schwarzenegger all the time, which is, I'm nowhere near that size, but it was just in my
You feel like
mind.
you had the Conor McGregor swagger.
I was walking around work like that, yeah. Well, let's talk about the mind then, because there was some mindset shifts and things that we learned, at least mentally.
Yeah.
What were some of those things for you?
I think with anything that you start or this new or any kind of challenge or obstacle that you're either about to face or you're looking at, it can seem daunting. I think we kind of talked about that, but once starting it and seeing it for what it really is, and I guess in a sense breaking it down is, okay, this is just push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
And 100 push-ups, you can break that down throughout the day. You don't have to do it at once.
Right.
And how you're framing it in your mind makes a world of difference.
Yeah, I do think that at first I don't want to say this was like the most daunting thing ever, like
No, yeah.
but at first it seemed kind of big. Like, I mean, that's kind of a lot of push-ups to get in throughout the day.
Plus your workout.
Plus your workout.
Yeah.
It was actually something that you said halfway through. I think you were commenting on like a David Goggins video, and he's like, "This is nickels and dimes." You know, he's just always doing push-ups and pull-ups.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even consider it, part of his, exercise routine. He's like, "That's just what I do," and it's just like picking up free change from the floor. And I was like, "Wow." Some people might consider 100 push-ups their entire workout for the day, and this dude considers just picking up a penny from the floor. And at that point, I started seeing it like not as this big daunting task, but as this is just like bending over and picking up some change from the floor, like just.
Yeah, his perspective. It's just
my perspective's changed
like
from
going to
something
the bathroom.
big. Yeah,
Something you do every day.
So that was one thing that I think that it almost got framed differently.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing changed about it other than my mindset. I was like, oh, this is kind of just, this is a small task. This isn't a big task.
It's like almost how you're labeling it or how you're viewing it. It's like, oh, okay. You could have made it harder on yourself by the way if you would have seen it like, oh man, this is such a daunting, terrible thing. 100 push-ups every single day. But if you're like, okay, this is just something that I do.
Right.
It's nothing else. It's just putting on my shoes, putting on my clothes to work. I'm gonna knock some push-ups out.
Yeah. So I think halfway through that's when it really changed for me, and that really highlighted just how your perspective plays a huge role in how you tackle tasks, how you deal with life, I guess, just in general.
Yeah, I think a lot of things is just one, your perspective that you have naturally, but then you're trying to reframe or reword or change the way that you're trying to see the situation as a whole.
Yeah. You brought up a good point before the podcast about similar events and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
What were you saying about that?
I was saying like three people could go through an event and have different perspective going into it and then coming out of it, and then that can dictate overall your viewpoint.
And trajectory, potentially.
And trajectory, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was saying how that can all impact our behaviors and mindset. So a big piece in those situations is trying to reframe the situation, which it's easier said than done.
Easier said than done, for sure.
But I think that was huge. Obviously, this wasn't like a big thing, so it was a little bit easier. Okay. Instead of saying like, oh, 100 push-ups, so challenging to like, oh, okay, it's just
100 push-ups.
100 push-ups, something that I have to do.
Nickels and dimes.
Nickels and dimes. That would be cool at one point. We'll do a 100 pull-up challenge. Not anytime soon. But
Yeah, that would be tougher.
But yes.
For sure. Okay, so if that's more of the mind side of things, what about the body?
Did you just get jacked? Are you benching 315 now?
So I don't know if I want to lie to you people. I don't want to. But I did not see, at least in my physique, I did not see a huge change. I do feel like from the constant push-ups, you do feel a little bit more pumped. like instead of doing chest once or twice
So
a
you
week, you're
feel
doing,
bigger.
you do feel a little bit bigger. I'm not gonna lie. Push-ups did get easier.
Mm-hmm.
It did help. Like I feel like I really like my form on the push-ups got a whole lot better. Like it felt good. Like at first,
Oh yeah.
if you're not doing push-ups too consistently or whatever, you're like, where do I put my hands again? How far down do I go? Like what's the best feeling? And like now I know exactly where to go. I know exactly where my shoulders to be, and it just feels good. I just got in a good, I got like good form.
That is a good point. I remember back in the day. I think we've talked about this, like hand placement for bench and push-ups. My wrist used to always kill me when I did push-ups back in high school.
A lot of times people's shoulders will hurt with push-ups.
True, but now we're older, wiser,
of course,
new men. The hand placement, like all these subtleties. I was like, okay, now I'm doing push-ups. My wrist doesn't hurt, my shoulder don't hurt. So
yeah, I mean, it did. I feel like it did help with like when we were doing bench and incline bench and other like push exercises because I feel like my recovery, like I didn't have to rest as long. I feel like I had more endurance while I was doing it. Like, like we usually, like in the past, I worked out in those lower rep ranges, and kind of going to these high rep ranges were kind of challenging. Piece of cake.
yeah,
like doing 10 sets of 10 on bench was like challenging, but nowhere near as hard as it was in the past.
Oh yeah, it definitely helped us. 100%.
But yeah, I'm not going to tell you that you're going to look completely different from doing 100 push-ups every day for 30 days physically. Now, I think there was a lot to learn, like we said, mentally and perspective, and like it did help form and assistance with other exercises. And who knows, if we keep doing it, maybe our chest will look like Schwarzenegger. You never know.
Yeah.
But I think it does lead into the D word.
We don't talk about the D word.
Discipline. All you pervs out there. But with the discipline aspect of things, again, this kind of goes into the mindset. It almost was as doing things every day. I don't want to say made it easier, but it helped me get into a routine. It helped me to stay more disciplined because I had to do it every day versus like skipping a day and then getting back on, the bandwagon or whatever you want to say, back on the path. So I think it actually made the discipline easier because we created that daily routine and that habit. And, but it does take discipline. You got to, at first, you do have to mentally,
It's going to take effort at first. Absolutely. It's kind of like what one of our rules, the 2-day rule. Don't miss 2 days. I miss 1 day and then I hop back on it.
Yeah. I mean, we are flawed individuals.
We are. That's why we always say, remember, you are human. Because we are humans.
And, we try our best to take our own advice.
Yeah.
And, as Anibal said, that the 2-day rule that we had set in the past is a really good...
Is there for a reason.
Is there for a good principle to live by. He didn't... What do you think? If you had missed 2 days...
Here's the thing. Most people, I am speaking for myself,
yeah,
is in the past, I missed 1 day. Or it can even be 2 days. And you're like, all right, I'm done. I'll start next week.
Oh, and that 2 days turns into 4.
Yeah.
And then that Monday rolls around, you're like...
Because you're seeking perfection.
That's
why we say what we say at the end, guys. We're seeking perfection instead of just daily improvement.
Wow.
So instead of, okay, I missed 1 day, it's fine. Tomorrow's a new day. Starting over. Boom. Instead of, like you said, it snowballs. So that's what we're trying to do. We're preventing the snowball. 1 week turns into 2 weeks to a month. And then like, you know what? The holidays are around the corner. I'll just start in January.
I hear that a whole lot from people. So it can't just be us two that struggle with stuff like that. It's got to be more than just us.
I think so.
I think so too. What were some of your takeaways? I know we've been talking kind of about takeaways, but if you had to boil it down for the viewers out there.
It showed me that I can do a lot more than I think I can.
Yeah, because you'd never done this many push-ups before.
No. And typically,
even in 1 day.
And I mean, I've always had wrist pain. So all these little subtleties is like, okay, if you can break something down, you're actually able to do a lot more than you think of. And I think we talked about this too. Is just perspective is key, and how you view the situation.
That was a big takeaway for me, was that just when you had said that, like my whole mindset just like snapped and changed. I was like, oh, this is something that is just small. It's not a big thing.
Yeah, sometimes we make it bigger than it is.
And so that was one thing that I definitely took away and would like to apply to other areas of my life. And then the other big thing, like kind of like we just said with the discipline, was that I feel like the daily activity, the daily aspect of doing it was so beneficial in me actually finishing.
You're normalizing it.
I'm normalizing. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
It just became, it's just like brushing your teeth or taking a poop.
I hope you're brushing your teeth, guys.
Yeah. You just do the push-ups.
Yep.
And that was a big takeaway. I did not think by the end it would be as easy mentally to do. But yeah, I think framing the situation and then the daily activity thing was a huge takeaway for me. Was not expecting to come away with that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll probably have to do some other challenge and stuff like that. But
yeah, hopefully you guys did it. If you didn't, that's fine. You can start it in the next month.
Yeah, technically, Anibal and I have 2 days left. We have to do today and tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get it done. Don't you guys worry.
Don't you worry. We'll keep each other honest.
Yeah. Anything else, Anibal?
No, I think that's it. And I guess now you have a little bit more behind the scene of what we say at the very end of the episode. So
what is that? What is that thing we say at the end of the episodes, Anibal?
We say it for a reason, guys. Remember, you are human. We should not seek perfection, but daily improvement.
All right.
See you guys.